Okay, welcome. Hi, everybody. So glad that you are here joining me this evening. And I have my friend Debbie Nagata, who is also joining me, who's a light body student. And very fun to be here. And I'm so excited that there are so many people who have decided to join in this evening. So this is only my second time working on doing a live broadcast, so I'm still on a learning curve. And it's still kind of odd for me to be talking away when I can't see you. This is a new skill. So we'll just have to get used to it, I suppose. So I want to point out that there is a chat, and that chat is should be over on the right side of your page. And anytime you would like to ask a question, please feel free to chat, or you have comments or something that you would like to share with someone else. That'd be great. So just go ahead and also, just if you're there, I'd really like it if you can put your name in the chat. Then I have a sense of who's out there. So I appreciate that very much as well. There's a delay between when I'm talking and when you're seeing this, so you won't always hear me answering your questions immediately. It takes a little bit of takes a couple minutes for this little time lag. So all these things I'm getting used to, but that's why the chat's great. We get the chat pretty much instantly, and so your answer will be coming back, or we'll be dealing with it, and you'll get it in a couple minutes live. Okay, so the topic is light body meditation. And light body meditation is something that I got into many years ago with Philip. He was the one who introduced me to this, my late partner, whose picture you see over my shoulder here. He joins me in pretty much everything that I do. So he'll be also part of this evening when we do the meditation. Feel his presence. So I was definitely had spent a lot of time working with my spiritual growth, and at one point had done a 9-month Taoist retreat, had done a lot of meditation in my life, had done a lot of, especially Taoist meditation, some Zen meditation, had been to India, been quite involved with Advaita. And yet there seemed to be something more that was going on that Philip and the people that he knew were talking about and were experiencing. And I was very curious, very interested. As soon as I heard about it, and I felt this was going to be another big step for me. And I started to, basically at the time it was cassette tapes, I started to steal Philip's cassettes, and not really steal them, but I would borrow them and play them and listen to them, and that was really fun to do that. He already had a pretty big collection because he'd been studying with Dwayne Packer and Sine Roman for some time, as well as having spent quite a bit of time working with them in the channeling. I've been there working with them in the channeling workshops and was their teaching assistant for some years. So anyway, I just sort of randomly pulled meditations that sounded really attractive to me, and I got so into it that he said, look, why don't you just start at the beginning, and you'll get a lot more out of it if you do it that way. I was having a really good time, just the way I was doing it. So I did that. I decided I would go back to the beginning, and that is actually the course that I'm now offering. It's the very same course, and it is an audio course that you can purchase, and listen to is the same course that Dwayne and Sanea, Dwayne Packer and Sanea Roman offered when I started, which was almost 20 years ago. And it's recorded, it holds the energy, it sort of withstands the test of time. And the people that I have since that time that Philip and I taught have used this course and have had great results from it. It opens up what are the light body centers. And so, I'm going to take my glasses off here. And so the light body centers are energy centers in the body. They are different from the chakras. There are the lower set and an upper set, and then you expand out from there. But they are a different energy system. And what the guide said was that this was the first time that this particular energy configuration had been awakened on the planet at the time. And it is deeper than the chakras, or maybe we could say more refined than the chakras, and is a system that energy flows through. So you can really see its connection if you do Qigong and medical Qigong. You can, if you're aware of the energy flows, you can track the energy flows and see, though, that they are happening at a slightly more subtle level than the other energy flows that you might be experiencing. So I'm curious. So we have some people joining us. I'm happy to say welcome to Chris, to Susan, nice, to Nancy, Nadia, and Jeremy, great, to Diane and Jennifer. So those are some of the people who are joining us right now. So this is really fun for me to get to welcome you into my home. And just taking a look and see who else is out there. Laura Lee. So I think Laura Lee is coming to us or joining us from Mexico. Esperanza, nice. Kim, very nice. Jennifer, Diane, good. So please, if you're watching, and Susan, there's another Susan. Please, if you're watching, please just click into the chat, because that's great to get to see who's here. And you can all see the other people that are here. So that's very nice. Okay. So, okay, technical. Debbie, my chat just went away. We have to go down here. Okay, I'm back. Oh, no, I'm not. Now I'm back. Okay, great. So, like I say, I'm just learning how to do a live broadcast from my home. So, light body meditation. So from the beginning, what I was discovering was that it was taking me into states of consciousness that I had actually never really been able to get into before. Even when I'd done a lot of meditation, I was able to move into what they would call interdimensional spaces. And through this teaching, it was, and it is very easy to do this. It's like a wonderful shortcut in many ways into very advanced states of consciousness that you would normally have to spend a lot of time meditating to get into. In the beginning of learning this, I did practice it usually about 3 hours a day. So, so I went through what is a great body of recorded meditations in a relatively short amount of time, which was probably 6 months. So that was very exciting. And I began to go to the live seminars, which were at the time being held in, well, they started off in San Rafael, but then they moved to Ashland, and now they are in Medford, Oregon. So there's a whole other level of experience that you get to have when you go to their live seminars, and experiences of, again, very advanced states of consciousness, states of being, experiences of who you are. So it's not just about getting into higher states of consciousness, or it's not just about getting high and out there interdimensionally traveling. It's always brought back down to a very practical experience. And it applies to your life. So in medical Qigong, we talk about the worlds and about the levels of existence, and that we exist on the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual planes. And at the same time, it is the spiritual plane that is, you could say, in charge. It is the causal plane. And so by working in the spiritual plane, you affect the emotional plane, you affect your mental plane, you change your beliefs, you create more emotional flow in your life. And it comes right down, actually, you bring more light into your body and into your being. And so there's a really wonderful link and connection that is there. And in many ways, you could say that is the most primary and most important aspect, is working on the spiritual plane. And from my experience, that is definitely the case. Because you can go and when you move into these spiritual states of consciousness, or these higher states of consciousness with the light body, you start to have very different perspectives on reality. The reality of the personality self becomes less important. It becomes, we could say, looser. You take your personality less seriously. Your mental state changes, because you see that reality is not what you had formerly believed it to be. You see it as something much more dynamic, much more fluid. You also see your emotions that way, which are generally attached to your physical, attached to your physical reality, attached to your beliefs and your emotions and your physical being are all very connected together. So through these experiences of moving into these higher planes and connecting into these higher realms of love and light, you start to see the world in a different way. Now, I know some of you out there who are watching tonight have also taken the channeling classes. And we certainly move into the realms of love and light with the channeling. But you could look at the gateway into the guides realm of being one of many gateways. And in Light Body, we move through these gateways, but we also move beyond. We go to a lot of different destinations, and we also move into different kinds of planes. So there's a lot of exploration. For example, we were working with a plane of resonance currently that is different from, it's almost in its entirety from the planes that you originally worked on with the light body. So it's really hard to describe. It's sort of like describing color when you've been living in a world of black and white, to describe these other worlds and to describe how one moves through these other worlds, what kind of experiences you have in these other worlds. So I'm going to see if there are any questions in. Okay. So any questions? If you have questions, if you want to put them into the chat, then we're actually going to use the chat also as our Q&A, and Debbie is going to be watching the chat for questions that you might have. So I'm going to start now to describe the course. The course happens over a period of 6 months. And there is what we call a volume of meditations to work on each month. And they are opening up certain energies in your energy body. And again, this energy body is one that's vibrating at a higher frequency than what we would be doing in Qigong. So it's a higher frequency that we are opening up into. And so each month there will be these meditations for you to work on, and then we're going to be having a webinar. So we'll have one in the beginning and then one after each volume. And that'll be for all the questions that you have or the experiences that you might be having that you'd like to share, and also just for help and guidance as you do this, go through this whole awakening your light body process. And so it moves up through the body, through the lower centers, to coming to the heart centers, coming to the head center, coming into what we call the lower body, and then we move into the higher body, which is the light body itself. And the centers have sounds. They have sounds that open them up and cause them to vibrate. And that gets them, opens you up to these higher states of consciousness. And a lot of people have very powerful experiences. Philip and I taught this as a live seminar, which had, I think it was 4 components. We broke it up. There was an intro and then several weekends that were connected with this. And that was very exciting, the experiences that people would have after each of our weekends, and of course during our live seminars. It's very powerful experience. And I will also be offering and be doing these live meditations on these webinars. So the course is a combination of these live webcasts and the audio downloads. Debbie is going to be putting the information onto the chat about where you sign up for this, or how you get into the process of becoming a part of this course. It's pretty simple, actually. I have a new website that is happening, and been working on this website, so that's kind of fun. And it's actually going to be part of the whole new Empty Mountain website. But this part is up and running, and you can go there and place an order and also register. And if you want to do this, registering on the registration page is extremely important, so that I have the information which then goes to the light body Luminescence Institute in Oregon, and you are then registered there. And once you have finished this course, you become eligible to take the further light body courses that are offered. So if you have done Medical Qigong, this is a way of really expanding that experience of taking your your connection to the divine to an entirely new level. Light Body does that. It brings everything deeper and also aids in all of your transmission skills. So transmission skills are those skills that allow you to lead a meditation that then becomes very powerful because you are connected into these higher realms in a different way. All of the light body meditation is based on this transmission energy, and so it is very alive. It is so very different from going somewhere and someone gives you a guided meditation. They kind of read through it and you're using your imagination and you're having an experience. Very different from a kind of meditation where you are guided to sit quietly and watch your mind or something like that. Light body meditation is all based on transmission. And so the states of consciousness that you are going into are actually transmitted to you. And this is actually, I believe, what makes it quite unique and quite powerful, is that this is all based on energy that is transmitted and therefore is very easy for you to access. And so if you relax and let go, you can go into the experience that is there, that is possible for you to connect with.
We have a question.
Okay, we have a question.
From Chris, and it
Okay.
says, "Hi, Wendy. You mentioned
Hi. Yes.
that this is an introductory course. Are
Yes.
there other levels to it? And if so, how many levels are there?"
Well, this is an introductory course, and there are many, many levels. And at the same time, in order for you to go to the latest level, you only have to have done this course. So it's not that there are a lot of levels that are prerequisites for you. The course that I'm teaching right now is the prerequisite for all of the other courses. And so there's a library of seminars, and I've pretty much done them all, so I'm familiar with all of them. And after the first one, I'm going to offer one that comes after that. That is, well, it's called Filling in the Frequencies and Self-Exciting Energies, and they are energies to bring in more light, so self-generating more light. So that's about gaining more light. So filling in the frequencies would be the next course in the chronological order after this one. If you go to the Luminescence website, and you will actually get directed there at some point as a link. You can see this huge library of seminars. They've been putting on these seminars for about 25 years. So they never redo them. They always stay with the energies that are coming in. And everything that has come before this is really like a pathway or a trail map so that you can find your way. We are currently working on something called the luminous body, which is different from the light body because it is in these resonance frequencies. So it's a different frequency area that we are working in, and it is totally amazing and mind-blowing, at least to me, every time that I go. But then those of us who go have always been feeling that way for many years about our light body seminars. They are something that we just love to participate in.
Can we have another?
Okay, I think I answered that question. Let us know if you had more questions on that, Chris. And another question?
From Nadia.
Okay.
Says, hello, would you recommend starting the audio meditations before the first webinar in January?
Okay, well, if you do, then you'll have some questions for me. So you could definitely start if you like to before that first set, because I know when you get them, it's going to be pretty hard to resist listening to some of these meditations. So yeah, that would be fine. And yeah, you can go ahead and listen to them. And at the same time, you're going to get a lot from doing them together as a group. Just the fact that you're going together as a group, Dwayne and Sanaya connect with their guides, who are Daben and Oren, and they send energy to us as a group. And so being part of this group will give you extra energy, and as does Philip. So Philip will also be energizing the meditations as we do them together, but they will also be completely energized, or nicely energized at least, as you just get into them. So, okay. Good. So there's some good questions coming in. Good. So let me see. I'm sure there's a lot more here that I do need to cover. So what this is a big step on a path of spiritual growth. And I started to offer this really because of requests from students who were interested in what my growth path was and what I consider to be my spiritual path. And Light Body is very much a big part of my spiritual path. It's non-denominational. Once again, it's very much like Qigong and like Taoism, that it's all based on experience. And so there is nothing to believe here. Everything that you experience here comes from, or everything that you may get out of this comes from an experience. And so it's non-denominational, no religion, no gurus. It's what you get out of it, what you put into it is what you get out of it. But it's not just what you put into it, because there is a lot given to you here. As I say, these are transmission meditations. And so they are designed to go out into time. Doesn't matter when you do them. They are energized for you with very powerful energy. And so a path of spiritual growth and transformation is really what happens when you embark upon the Light Body journey. And you can participate as you want. You can make this something that you do, part of every day. You can become very enthusiastic and become a seminar participant. I plan on offering more webinars, and I'd love to do more live classes of Light Body, because I find them just really fun and powerful. And you can also just participate by doing them online or by downloading seminars. It just opens a whole, what I would call a great library of energies energies are, it's almost a different way of experiencing, because transmission meditations are just, they are a different experience. So when you start to do this, you come into a lot of spiritual growth. And one aspect is that you start to feel that the universe has expanded and that you are living in a larger world in many ways. Your world is, well, you're not just living in the earth plane. You have that sense of being connected to other planes. At the same time, especially if you do Qigong, you will feel that you have that spiritual connection. At the same time, you have that wonderful physical connection, so that you are involved in not only energies of the earth plane, you are also involved in energies of all that is. So there's a lot more out there than the earth plane, and we have access to it.
We have another question from Chris.
Okay.
If the energy is transmitted, once we learn the methods, can we tap directly into the transmissions and practice on our own? Or does the transmission only happen when we participate in the group activity?
Excellent question. Thank you, Chris. So, energy transmissions. Yes, you can learn how to connect into these energies. It's very much is a pathway so that you can find out how to get into these states of consciousness on your own. And we have also something called residual, so that if you spend a lot of time in these spaces, that you'll find that these spaces are with you all the time. It's like your consciousness has grown, and we would actually call this a course in growing your consciousness. So your consciousness itself expands so that you are in a larger experience, your experience itself. And so you do not, doesn't only happen when you participate in group activity. It doesn't only happen when you are listening to the recordings of the meditations. And it doesn't only happen when they're live. But I would say, if you look at that, when they're live, it can be, especially for a group, those meditations can be kind of knock your socks off powerful. So I highly recommend it. And a group energy is very powerful and is very helpful. And so all those things are true. But so that was a great question. Thank you very much. So yes, so you start to live in a larger universe because of growth of consciousness. So Light Body very much addresses this whole sense of growth of consciousness and growing your consciousness, growing and expanding consciousness. And of course, growing consciousness takes commitment, takes you doing some actual spending time and doing some work on that to support and to cultivate this new world that you're moving into. And moving into these higher states of consciousness gives you new perspectives, and these new perspectives are perspectives of wisdom. They are not about gaining information. It's very much like channeling, that you are going into places of wisdom. When we move into higher spiritual states, we become more wise. So wisdom is very different from information. Wisdom involves your whole being. It involves your mental world, but also very much involves the emotional world, your physical, you know it in your body. So there's a wholeness when you gain wisdom. It's like becomes you, and you have grown. So gaining wisdom is one of the greatest things that you can do. Okay, let's see what else I need to cover. Well, one of the things it does, it enhances your ability to manifest. And so manifestation is really about coming into alignment with your soul, with your soul's purpose, what you're here to do. And so this work really does that. It really helps you to get more into alignment with the truth of your being. And when you come into that alignment and then life manifests itself. What you need starts to show up for you. It allows you to get into more emotional flow. And so you don't take your beliefs as seriously, you don't take your emotions as seriously. You can let them go by and move into a place of greater peace, or just not hanging on to fear. Shows up, fear goes by. Anger comes up, anger goes by. All those emotions become less stuck. Allowing you basically just to be a more happy, joyful, centered human being. Okay. Another question there?
From Nadia.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the process of reading the Opening to Channel book and are considering starting to channel now. How would you think about doing that while taking the light body course?
That'd be great. Yeah, the channeling totally goes along with light body, and light body goes along with channeling. Oren and Ben are guides from the higher realms that you'll be working with in the channeling. I mean, in the light body class, in the Awakening Your Light Body class. So they are channel guides, and yeah, I think that there's no reason not to enjoy both of those, working with those together at the same time. Okay, so I'd like to do a meditation.
I have one more question.
Okay, another question.
If you can't attend the live webinar, will you be able to view it at another time?
Yes. So if you are not there for the live broadcast, so you're not here for this broadcast right now, it is actually something that you should be what you can connect to later. We have a link for it. It will be on YouTube. So it goes up as we are broadcasting now. It goes into a private YouTube place. And you'll be able to access it. So if you're not able to be there for each of those webcasts, that's okay. Okay, so I think it'd be good to do a meditation together. Okay, so if you are ready, and this will be channeled, this meditation. Before I completely go over to channeling, I'm just going to let you know that my voice is going to change. And so don't be surprised if you haven't seen me channel or been around me when I'm doing a meditation before. So, okay. Good, and welcome. We are very glad that you have taken this time this evening to join in with this broadcast. with this live event that is online and that is going out to each and every one of you. For indeed, we, the guides, are there with you. We are in the space that you are in. We are connecting with you directly. And we are quite pleased to be doing this. For indeed, for us, these geographical issues are, well, we would say that they are not issues, of course, at all. And so it is easy for us to make this connection. And we are most pleased to be doing so at this time. Good. And so we would have you begin by connecting with your breath, with that gentle movement of breath that moves into your body and back out again. And bringing your connection to this breath, letting it fill you and then release. And just watching and enjoying that and bringing your focus here into your breathing. And as you bring your focus into your breathing, we would also like you to bring your focus into your posture. For indeed, to be able to connect into these energies, one must become an antenna. And so it is most beneficial to sit properly, to sit with the spine erect. It's okay to be sitting with your legs crossed, or cross-legged as they say, or to be sitting in a chair, whatever that is. But we would have you have your spine erect and have your breath come into the base of your body. So now letting that breath be deep, letting it fill you up. And enjoying this movement of the breath. Letting yourself relax and enjoy this. And smile. Be aware of this flow of the breath from outside to inside, inside to outside. And beginning to see how the inside is also the outside. What you breathe in is also what is all around you. And as you breathe out, you are also connecting to what is all around you. So participating in this space with the breath. And think of the breath now as light. That at some level you are taking in light. And that this light becomes you as you breathe in. This light moves into your being. And with each breath, you become more and more filled with this light. Good, and letting that go now as you relax. letting your mind relax, letting your mind become peaceful and calm, like a still lake. Letting your awareness float out over this still lake. In a way that feels peaceful and harmonious, pleasant and calm. And feeling that peace and calm, and at the same time feeling an energy that is here. And so with each breath, with this calmness and this peace, you feel more light. You feel more connection. That you are connecting to something larger that is all around you. And yet it becomes more profound the more peaceful you are. With each breath, the connection becomes deeper, becomes fuller. You feel yourself begin to float up and out gently. Becoming more expanded, becoming more light. Enjoying that sense of lightness. And noticing that there are many frequencies here. That the light that surrounds you, that you are in, the energy that you are surrounded by and in, however you are experiencing this. It's becoming more and more alive, more and more beautiful, more and more harmonious. You are feeling that sense of floating upward, perhaps of being drawn upward. Becoming more expansive. Moving now into a different frequency as you follow this shift. Lighter and brighter. Finding this flow. Moving on this river of energy. Expanding to more and more sense of peace and harmony, beauty, and light. Just enjoying this space. This lightness. feeling those beings around you, perhaps, those your guides. Of course, the guides of Light Body. For indeed, we are here to assist you on this journey. I'm going higher now. Finding a place of peace. Like a high note, a frequency, a tone that is here to awaken your soul. Vibrating perfectly. Lighting up your soul, lighting up your heart. And as it does, feeling your heart expand. With that frequency, with that note, to another level, to a more expanded experience of you. You may experience the being of light that you are, your unlimited potential. Pure being. Indeed, there's a doorway here. Doorway for you to connect into who you are. Into the truth of your being. And so welcome. Indeed, you are beings of limitless potential. You are here to grow that potential. And we are here to support you in that growth. And indeed, a tone is sounded. The seed is planted. And we hold you in this light, in this love, in the beauty and perfection of your being. We welcome you to this path, whether it is now or at another time. We are most pleased to serve you in this way. As you continue to enjoy this expanded state of consciousness, beauty and the truth of your own being. And with that, we give you our gratitude and our blessings and our thanks for taking that journey with us. So just relaxing and enjoying that space. I hope that you were able to get into a good meditative space there along with us. And let us know how that was for you, how that meditation was. Okay, I'm counting on you guys for some questions now. I want to know what you're thinking. What are you thinking or not thinking? It's okay after meditation. Obviously, to not be thinking. But comments or anything else that you would like to ask about?
Still on the delay.
So there's a time delay. So I know as I'm speaking, you haven't finished meditating, but soon you will be. So you need to take a little stretch in meditation. It's always good, a little spinal cord breathing. So inhale and exhale. And one more. Okay. It's also nice to do a little bit of tapping. Face, your head. Your arms. Up. Side. And down the outsides of your legs. And inside. Back to the belly. Okay. Very good. Okay.
A long email from Chris. Chris says, I didn't realize it was over. The first time when I do group meditations of a different frequency, it takes getting used to and is a bit cloudy, and I don't follow everything that happens. I like what you said and definitely agree that group meditations are more powerful. When channeling in your classes, the energy is very intense. Does this course deal with grounding that same type of energy into our energy body?
Good question. And it isn't in the, well, it's actually, there's a lot of grounding because you work with energy centers called the Nuya, which is the very lowest energy center in the body. So when you're actually doing light body, you do begin this with working on very grounding energy centers. You can always do the same kind of grounding that I teach in Qigong and in the channeling classes because, I mean, that is just awesome. And once we get into this, I will probably begin with doing that kind of grounding. That's all kind of what my guides want to do. My guides weren't doing that today, so I basically do what the guides tell me. So to go back to your comment though, the great thing about Light Body is that the meditations are all recorded, so you can do them, the downloaded meditations you can do over and over again. And the meditations like this one will actually be on YouTube, and you can actually go back through this if you want and do that meditation over again right off of YouTube. So that is also an advantage. The second time is usually more lucid for you. Yeah, and I think that's true of everybody. So it's actually really great to to have these, the way the meditations are set up, that you are able to do them basically over and over again. So appreciate how helpful that is. Okay, so any other questions out there would be good. You think of any questions, Debbie?
Just that the meditations on the CDs are very powerful and intense.
Yeah, the meditations are really great on the CDs, so you'll be well entertained with those, and you'll have lots of homework. Some people have done them in a shorter period of time and got through, got through them. But it's really nice to take this 6 months period to go through them and do them. I wanted to read to you all comment from. Let's see. I need to go to the website. And there's if you know Caroline Komoto, she. Let me get this up for myself to read to you. So Caroline Komoto did this really quickly, but she just had to spend really a lot of time getting through the whole initial course. And then she went to the live seminar just this past October, and I'm going to read to you what she said. This is her experience. She says, I have been a student of light body meditations for the last few months and have found it has benefited me personally as well as professionally. Personally, I have more energy. I'm less reactive to incidents occurring in my life, have more equanimity, and feel less anger and irritation towards others. I feel happier, more content, and more at peace. I have gained greater clarity of thought and greater clarity regarding who I am and what my life purpose is. I have a tangible connection to the divine. It feels as if the vibration that is me is growing more refined, radiant, and beautiful through a combination of medical Qigong and light body work. Professionally, I'm becoming more effective as a Qigong leader and treatment provider. I have dedicated students who come faithfully to classes that report significant shifts in their lives that other people notice, and they are bringing their friends to classes. The ability to sense energy at all levels during treatments has increased, and there is greater confidence in the information received. Doing light body work has amplified the effects of 4 years of medical Qigong training. I highly recommend learning light body meditation as an adjunct to medical Qigong training. It has the potential to shift energetic awareness and your own vibration to a higher, finer level, making you a more balanced, more effective medical Qigong practitioner at any level. So, just wanted to share that. Okay, so yes, there's more of you out there. So I'd really like to get a conversation going. Makes it really fun if we can start to get more interactive on the chat. And so really look forward. Chris has been great, and Nadia, thank you for coming in and being a part of the chat. But I see there's lots of other folks out there. Comments and questions is what we are looking for at the moment. So, Debbie. So Debbie has also gone through the training. Debbie is a medical Qigong practitioner. She's been right through the master's level. She's a master of medical Qigong. And she got into this. Of course, it was, at the time she got into it, it was Philip, who started sending her in that direction. So, how could you say about your experience with the light body?
Okay, I don't know if they're going to hear me.
Okay, so you can come over here and say hi.
Hi, everyone. My name is Debbie Nagata, and I studied light body with Philip, and I found the meditations very, very powerful, and opening all of the centers and taking some of the meditations were taking me into such an expansion of consciousness, and it's really helped me in everyday life. So. That's been my experience.
Yeah, and if anyone has a question for Debbie, you can send Debbie a question too. We can both answer questions for you. So we're kind of having a party now. I'm going to drink my tea. And look forward to hearing from you guys soon with anything else that you'd like to ask. And so as Debbie has been busy adding lots to the chat for you to be able to see, so that you can go on there and see the pages that you link to get more information on the light body. As I said, actually, it's going to send you to the whole website that's not complete. So it's getting close, and it's going to get launched hopefully in the next few days. It's just getting sort of moved from another site onto this site, and so that's something I'm looking forward to having finished, which is really exciting. But anyway, you don't have to cruise the rest of the site, because I'm going to be sending that out. Okay.
Kim Richards, sorry if you already answered this. How many hours per week would be optimal practice?
Okay, so when you're doing this, it's great to do a meditation every day. So if you do one a day, you're going to get a lot happening from one a day. If you do more than one a day, you'll get more happening. So it's really just a matter of it being up to you to see how much time you would like to put into it. The more time you put into it, basically the more fun you're going to have. Doing the light body meditations is a really great, really a feel-good experience. So it's something that when you can sneak it in, aside from doing one a day, sometimes I generally like to do 2 in a row, because I usually find the first one is a warm-up, and then you do the second one, and it just gets kind of better and better. In these meditations, you have Dwayne, which is doing meditations. Well, he's channeling Da-Ben, and the Da-Ben meditations are very energetic, and they're very sort of spacey, much like the one that I just did. You'll also have Aura meditations. Aura meditations are great. They're going to really address the personality and the emotions, and are much more practical. And they're the other half of the meditation set that really connect this into your day-to-day life. When Philip and I taught this together, I would channel in the more the Aura meditations, and Philip was doing the channeling in more what the Da-Ben meditations would be. So it makes a great balance between the two.
Okay, so from Nancy, it says, since it's a 6-month course, is it 1 CD a month?
No, there's a whole series of CDs each month. There's a lot. You're going to have a lot to listen to, but not too much. I would have to go over there and download to look at them to actually tell you exactly how many there are each month. Maybe I will get, maybe I can actually just do that.
Part 1 is 12 meditations.
So there's 12 meditations?
For level 1.
Oh, level 1 is 12 meditations.
But I have to look at them.
Okay, yeah, you can go right there. So level 1 is 12 meditations. So if you do 1 a day and you repeat them, which you definitely want to repeat them, that will probably be lots of meditations to work with in a month. So 12. 12 is our number. Great. So thank you so much, Nancy, for that question. And
It looks like most of them are 12 meditations each.
yeah,
Just
that makes sense. So there's 6 sets of CDs with 12 meditations on each CD. So I mean, in the beginning, it doesn't really sound like a lot, but when you get through 6 months of 12 meditations a month, that's actually quite a few meditations. And it's good to do each meditation, over several times. Okay, from Chris. Chris is asking, are the energy centers used in this meditation different than the 3 Dantians and the Taoist meditations, are also different than the chakras? It's different from all of these. If they are closer to anything, I would say that they are, in a way, closer to the Dantian energies. If you're familiar with the chambers of the Dantians. So there's nine chambers in each of the Dantians. And so the way that the energy has an interesting sort of flow through the Dantians, it doesn't just go straight up. It does a certain energetic configurations. It's actually more like the energetic configurations of the Dantians. If you move through each of those Dantian chambers, than it is the chakras. But it's also interestingly associated with each of these. It's just existing on a slightly different parallel dimension. That's an excellent question. And if you have questions on my answers, that's fine too. It just would be better if we were in real time, but real time doesn't actually get to happen on this. So I have divided this into 3 ways to participate in this. The first way is just if you just want to go onto the Lightbody website and you don't want to do the webinars, you're curious, you just want to go and get that, but you can actually just do this without doing the webinars. The price is $4.94, which is just the price of the meditation set that you would buy on the Lightbody website, on the Oren.ben website. The only difference being that I will give you a coaching session, a half-hour coaching session along with buying that. If you buy that off of my website, so I'll give you add a coaching session to that, and you'll be my student. And that is great to when you're going into Lightbody. It's good to have a teacher that you are sort of working under, and so you would be my student. The second level is just another $100, $5.94. That includes all the webinars, and it also includes a one-on-one session with me. These are 30-minute sessions, and then there's another level which is $6.94, which is of course, the download, the webinars, and that has 3 one-on-one sessions with me. So just different ways of doing this. So I've set it up this way so that, because I should probably tell you the story of why I'm doing this. So at the last Lightbody seminar, I was saying to Sanea how, I'd love to be able to teach Lightbody, don't really have enough time to do it. I travel so much, and also there's a bit of I can't teach it without having students buy the series, the $4.94 series. So that's just because they don't want anyone coming in who hasn't had the original transmissions. So as a teacher, if I was teaching the live series, you would also be buying that series. And so I was trying to figure out a way, and she suggested that we meditate on it. So during the meditation, I meditated on finding a way for us to do this, and this is what emerged, was doing this online, because it seemed to be the best of both worlds. I get to connect with a group of students who want to go through this process. I get to have interaction with them. I'll go through and do the whole thing with them, so I get to refresh all of my very most basic learning in light body, which is fun to do, and get to interact and get to offer this, because I've been asked for a while by students to offer this, and so here I am. So this is how this evolved. It was a meditation, and Sanaya said she was sending me, Sanaya Roman was sending me the energy during the meditation so that I would be able to find the answer that I was looking for. And I'm pretty happy and pretty excited about trying this out, because being able to work with you all in this way is kind of opens up a lot of doors, because, you know, it's kind of fun to be at home. I'm just going to show you. So I'm going to only see part of that tanka on the wall behind me, but there's a nice tanka on the wall behind me. I have a whole series of that particular style of tankas. Some of you know that I used to do Tibetan calendars and all of that. So I have my Tibetan art collection. I just want to show you that tanka for fun. And okay, so who's next with a question? Okay, let's see. What other questions do you think there are? Have I covered it all?
I think you've pretty much covered it all.
No, I've just covered it all.
Can they download the course?
Yes, the course will be downloaded. So here's the actual process that you would
CD.
go through. You're not going to be getting CDs. You can, if you want. You could contact me and we can arrange for you to get these as CDs, but it does cost more. Maybe $100 more for you to get the physical set. Otherwise, you're going to be getting, you'll be getting, once you, well, first of all, what you would do is you would go to the web page that says tuition, and you'll see the different levels. You can buy in a level sort of A, B, and C, 1, 2, and 3. So there's 3 levels. Decide what you would like to do, and then you can hit the buy now on there. That'll take you, of course, to PayPal, and you can use a credit card or a PayPal account. If you don't want to do that, you can just contact me and say, let me know that you're going to send me a check. So you don't have to use the PayPal. You can just say, hey, would a check work? That's perfectly fine. And then you're going to go to the registration page. It's very important for me that you also fill in the registration page. So it takes both of those. The registration then gives me the information that I am going to give to the Luminescence, and then they're the ones who are going to send you out the link that will allow you to do the downloads. Okay, so a question here from Diane. Can you tell us a bit more about the guides, Da Ben and Oren? Oh, that's a nice question. So, Da Ben and Oren are pretty amazing guides. I've been working with them, of course, myself for 20 years, and Philip worked with them for a very long time. Before that, of course, starting back when they were doing the initial channeling classes in the late 80s. So Dwayne Packer channels Da Ben, and Da Ben is very much into interdimensional traveling. I don't believe Dub-En has ever had an earth plane life. He is very into things like planetary guideship, so that you are enough consciousness so that you are like in charge of guiding a planet, or very much in the energetic realm. And so, and hugely into exploration. Before Dwayne teaches a live seminar, he goes into 100% seclusion for 2 months and just meditates for those 2 months. And when he comes out, he has like a really hard, someone's like driving because he's like been meditating and he forgot how to operate on the earth plane. But anyway, it's a huge commitment that he has, and that he's always had to bringing through these very pure transmissions. And so I would call Dub-En a very high celestial being. Now, Oren, I do believe, has had life on the earth plane, and Sine has been channeling Oren for a very long time, and the books, her books, which are Living with Joy, Spiritual Growth, Spiritual Growth Through Awareness, something like that. Do you know where the books are on the shelf? Yeah, you can bring me the books, I can show them the books. Anyway, so Oren's actually very big on books, and so he's actually, Sine at this point in time isn't actually teaching the live seminars because they're working on books, and she has some books that are going to be coming out soon. So he's very much more of a channels in that way. So but he's also very practical. So, oh great, thank you. So here are some of the books that Oren has. That's Personal Power Through Awareness. That's one of Sine's books with Dwayne. Living with Joy, Keys to Personal Power and Spiritual Transformation. Spiritual Growth, Being Your Higher Self. Creating Money, which sounds like a funny title, but actually the guides wanted this title, and it is all about manifesting. That's Sanaya Roman and Dwayne Packer. So those are some of the books that, since talking about who is Oren, that tells you a little bit about who Oren is.
Kim has a...
Okay, another question from Kim. Can you describe a bit about the coaching session? Oh, excellent. Good question. So the coaching sessions will be when you are working on doing the meditations, that you set up a time, and you will probably be having some questions that you'd like to talk with someone who knows, which would be me, about your experiences. And just, it's really good to know, to check in and to really feel like I'm on the right track. And so I really want to have that one-on-one with people who are taking this, with students who are taking this, just for that sense of yes, I am doing it right. Yes, I'm on the right track. You may have a question. For example, someone would say, well, I'm listening to the meditations, but I still don't see anything, because often the words are very visual that you will be hearing during the meditations. And if you're not a visual person, you might not be having a visual experience. So you're going to wonder if you're doing it right. And so when you check in with me and we have a one-on-one, those are the kinds of things that I can assure you are, that you are doing it right. And also just energetically, for me to be able to go in and check in with your guides on another level and be able to work at that point too, and be able to check in with the guides and basically channel for you if there's anything that the guides want to tell you in regard to how you're doing with the meditations. It's not a long session, but it's half an hour, so we can actually cover quite a lot, I feel like, in that time. It seems like it would be something that'd be really helpful to people. I went through this, I had Philip, and I know that I would be talking with him about my experiences too. Another part of this will be setting up a way for you to get together on a Light Body, Awakening the Light Body Facebook page, and that everybody would be a member. If you are a Facebook member, then you can be a member of that. You can probably also just do a Google group. So we'll find a way to interact so that you can put questions up and have your fellow meditators also being able to have discussions with each other. A friend of mine in France who basically sort of teaches Light Body in France, and he has set things up that way in France, and he says that has been working out really well for people. So he's also been an inspiration for me doing it this way. Okay. So what's the next question?
Thanks for that answer.
Oh, you're welcome. Good. Okay, so we have a few more minutes, and again, just being really excited to hear from whoever is out there. Well, probably it's going to be pretty fun when we do the course, because we'll be able to probably do one live Daben meditation and one live, like, Oren style meditation. And some of those are awesome from this Awakening series, and some of those are practices that I have used ever since I took this course. There are ways of working with energy that I got from doing this Awakening Light Body series that I have, like I say, continued to use, and it's been a part of your life, part of my life. Becomes a part of your life. Yeah. Okay. So looking for some more questions that I could answer. Thank you for everybody who has had a question. So, anything else you can think of that they might need to know?
No.
Some of these have been really excellent questions, though. Yeah, what is a session? What's a coaching session? That was a good question. A lot of these have been very, very good questions. Oh, and after you have learned this, oh, here's a question from Chris.
Are the guides used in the meditations only Oren and Daben, or are there others as used in the channeling classes?
Okay, so yes, it's just Oren and Daben are the guides for this. There's also music in the background, which is channeled music, and especially in the early works, in these beginning CDs, that is Michael Hammer who channels in the music. So actually, there's three levels of channeling going on there, because the music's channeled. But yes, it is Oren and Daben. What's the second question that he has there?
Oh, sorry. Oh, can we also channel in energy from the guides used in the channeling classes?
Yes, but I would say that when you're always welcome to do that. You can always channel in the energy from the guides, and your guides will be assisting you in this work. And so Orna and Jaben are there, but especially later in their later seminars, they're more recent seminars. There have been seminars just to help you bring in your guides, to help you during the meditations. So it's definitely supported for you to be bringing your guides in and to feel the presence of your guides as you go into these meditations.
Is your January 6th session also an intro with Q&A?
January 6th session is also an intro with Q&A. Absolutely. Yes. And I'm probably going to have another one the following week. I just haven't set it up.
Will it be the same meditation or depending?
It will not be the same meditation because the guides never repeat themselves. It's always a new meditation. So, yes. So it's fun. You're welcome to come back and participate again next time. Be great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I don't think that we have a lot more questions coming in. Just seeing time. So I think it's about probably time that we could wrap it up. So if you've got another question, oh, yes, that was from Diane. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Diane. That's another question. So just going to, yeah, we will wrap this up for now. It's been awesome to have you here, all of you here in my home with Debbie and I. And thank you to Debbie for being here. Debbie is someone who has just been an incredible help for me. She's responsible for getting almost all of the PowerPoints out there. Almost, you have one more to do.
Right, it's almost done.
One more, it's almost done. So yeah, so Debbie's awesome. And also working with me on the video, the Qigong practice video. She's the amazing videographer and director producer of the whole thing. So Debbie and I are here visiting, hanging out. We'll be getting some things finished up and other things started. So it's kind of magic time, and then we're going off to meditate together with a light body friend in Fresno for a couple of days at New Year's. So that's actually our New Year's is going to be doing some light body meditation with some other light body meditation people. Yes, so exciting. So thank you all so very much for being here, and I hope that this is something that appeals to you, because I'd love to have you get to experience this. Okay, so I think we're going to sign off for now. Can you come and sign off?
Huh?
You're gonna wave.
Oh. Bye.
Bye. Love you guys.
Nice
Bye
meeting
from
you all.
Yeah, bye.